I'm Kris Hagan. For those who don't know, I've been a language coach for many years. In my career, I've taught a wide variety of people, from famous singers and radio presenters to doctors, uni students, and yes, even desperate housewives trying to find an English lover. I finally decided to share my thoughts, tips and tricks with the world. Also check out my YouTube channel if you want to see my ugly mush. So let's kick off this podcast with a great jingle.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock, shining on his English lips. Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.
Hello and welcome to this final episode of the second series. Hope you got your tissues ready. For crying, I mean nothing else, you pervs out there. But don't cry, we'll be back shortly with the third, which is already planned. Until then, you can listen to all the previous podcasts, which we've recorded before, and I am sure you didn't listen to every second of every one. Now, let me say welcome to Jeremiah, or Jeremiah if you're my Italian friends, my new little kitten. I want to welcome him not only into the world, but into my family. Just a pity he hissed at Phantom, my other cat, and now they hate each other. Any advice? Let me know. You have the email address chrishaganpodcast@gmail.com or a message on Instagram, wherever. While you're waiting for our third series to come out, why not join one of our study courses or even conversation courses for those of you who can't be bothered studying because you're all lazy, which you can find on www.chrishaganshop.com. This gives you a chance to practice all you have learnt and become part of our large worldwide family. Now, who is our first guest this week?
Introducing me.
No, wait. I've just remembered. Soon as well, online, you'll be able to find our music videos of these jingles. How excited are you? Now, carry on back to the jingle. I'll start again, just because I love this jingle.
Introducing me, Melendez, mixing cocktails from Miami to New York. People blame her for getting legless just cause she mixed it. She didn't pour it down your throat.
No, she didn't.
Remember to leave her a tip.
Mimi's back to continue her talk about tipping. I don't mean tipping, putting rubbish in the tip. Off you go.
All right, thanks, Kris. So if you remember last time, I finished by giving this example about you maybe working a full day at your job and your boss telling you that at the end of the day,
you're not getting paid.
Exactly. I've decided you're not getting paid. So it's very similar when you serve a customer and give them your all, and at the end they decide not to tip you. Now imagine that same boss, okay, where you work, then tells you that you still have to contribute out of your own pocket to pay for other people's salaries in your company. Exactly. People don't understand that tipping is, you're not just not tipping the server or the bartender. It's a domino effect that you're creating of people you're not paying. So let me explain how it all works and what the guy who brought out your food has to do with the person who took your order. In most restaurants and bars, there's a hierarchy of front of the house employees, or the face of the establishment, the people you see on stage, so to speak. These are your bartenders, servers, cocktail waitresses, etc. These positions are paid at the tipped minimum hourly wage. So in my early years of bartending, it was about $2.13 per hour in Florida, which is nothing, right? The government expects you to make a living wage by making the rest up in tips. Okay, so I make this $2 per hour, that's also tax, but I have to be able to live off of that, which I can't, which means I have to make up the rest in tips. So $2.13, keep that in mind, is also still subject to taxes and fees and theft, let's say. Well. Yes. So I worked at many places where my weekly checks were just for a couple of dollars or even $0. I literally collected checks that were for $0. That in that case, it costs,
shock. I had no idea.
It costs more to print the check than the value paid, right? So some states do have a higher amount. So some states will pay you $5 to $7 per hour, which is still not a living wage on its own. We're still dependent on tips. From the tips that these employees make, they have to pay out an amount to their support staff. So positions like barbacks, runners, bussers, and sometimes even the cleaning or kitchen staff or even promoters get a cut of those tips in a lot of places. Some places have a flat amount. So say $30 per shift, I have to contribute to this other pool of people.
Really?
Yes. So whether you make that enough that you make that in tips or not doesn't matter. You still have to pay out the $30 regardless. So on nights that I didn't make any tips, I had to pay that amount from my out of pocket, from my purse. Okay.
So basically, you could even be negative.
You can even be negative if you're working at the wrong place, right? With the wrong customers. Some places have to...
Literally in shock here. I had no idea.
Yes, it's totally true. Some places you have to tip out a % of sales or tips. So you're guaranteed to have the money available, but you do have to get a cut of it, give a cut of it to someone else. Sometimes the staff pools their tips, so they collect everyone's tips and divide it among everyone in the house.
In England, I think they do in like bars and pubs.
Okay, it really depends where you work, what the choice is. So all of this is assuming that the establishment follows the rules and laws about tipping, payroll, etc., which I can tell you that 90% of the places I've worked at don't follow 100% of the time the rules. There's always some sort of like employee wage step, but that's another thing. My point is that when you stiff the server, you're actually stiffing a whole list of employees out of their rightful pay too.
Stiff, you don't mean the type of drink now.
No, I mean the
other kind of stiff.
The classic scamming someone or taking something from them. Of course, there's an argument to be had about whether tipping should even exist, but that's also a debate for another day. I don't want to get into that. Anyway, this is why it's so important that all customers support their service staff. They depend on tips to pay their bills, feed their families, afford transportation, and other things that we live every day using. Many people erroneously believe that the tips also are some kind of like free bonus, like something extra that they give on top of a living wage, which is not true. But I guess it's more convenient sometimes to be a little ignorant about things and just to skip the research and so you can pad your wallet. Another misconception is what's appropriate. How much is appropriate? I think that 15 to 20% is pretty reasonable. If you think the service was terrible and the bartender maybe cursed you out, maybe that's a different story.
Spat in your food.
They spat in your food, yeah. Maybe you want to cut their tip a little. But maybe 10% would be the absolute minimum for really bad service. So just keep this in mind whenever you go to an establishment that depends on tips. Bartenders and servers really depend on customers' tips to be able to live.
Yeah, I had no idea at all, really. If people don't know these things, they probably think when they don't tip, it doesn't really matter. It
doesn't matter,
because like you said, they think it's extra.
That's right.
So remember, thank you very much, Mimi, for these 20 episodes. My God, so long listening to you talk.
I can continue talking. Don't
No.
We're
not. So just remember, tip. Unless you're in a country that doesn't need tips.
Also remember to tip.
And if you don't remember anything else, just remember, tip. Bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine.
Mimi Menendez, a mixologist.
Now remember to sign up for the free webinars with Mimi, Jonathan and I. See our social media for more details. But don't book it if you aren't available, as there is a massive waiting list and we don't want to make people angry now, do we? Now this morning I was doing a lesson with a group of students and I found myself very impressed. Those of you who know me will know that I'm not easily impressed, but I found myself in front of a human horse this morning, the best imitation I have ever heard. Do you know what sounds animals make in English? As it's the last episode of the series, I thought I'd invite two very special, in inverted commas, guests. Not guests. Can you guess? Can you guess who?
What do you want?
What do you want?
I'm on the computer.
Okay, where's Mum then?
It's downstairs.
I need you together, Dad.
I'll go and get her now.
Fine, okay, go on.
I'm just checking it's working.
Fine, okay, go and get her. Go on. Basically, I told them, before I phone you, I need you both there at the computer. This is what happens.
Bring a chair away.
This is what I have to deal with every day. So here I chopped out 2 minutes of silence while my mother came up the stairs, just to save you time.
Hang on, I need a chair.
Need a chair.
In your own time, it's alright.
Right.
We're here.
Both of you?
Yep.
Mum?
Yeah?
I'm going to tell you the name of an animal and you have to tell me the sound it makes, for example, meow, and then make the sound to show how the word corresponds to the noise. Okay, you both understood clearly the instructions.
I think so. Go on.
Dad?
Yeah. Meow.
Right, okay. So, Dad, you first then. A dog goes...
Woof, woof.
Woof. Is that an Irish dog? Okay,
Yeah.
woof.
It's a wolfhound.
Woof.
Woof. Okay, fine. Mum, a cow goes...
Moo.
Okay, an Irish cow goes...
Moo.
Very good. Okay, Dad, back to you. A duck goes...
Quack, quack.
Very good, so quack. Good. Mum, a rooster goes...
A rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Okay.
Cock-a-doodle.
Dad, can you... Go on, Dad, what?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Perfect. You can have a job as an imitator of a rooster. Okay, Mum, what does a sheep do?
Sheep. Bah.
Okay, fine. Right, and Dad, what does a pig do? Okay, that was too good actually. And what's the word though?
Pig.
Oink.
Oink, oink,
Oink.
oink, oink.
So why is the sound totally different from the word oink?
Oink.
Don't try and answer that because you don't know.
There's some people
oink
just-
doesn't.
Well, some people just say oink. Some people just do the snort.
Okay, fine. Fine, Mum, what do donkeys do?
E-R.
E-R.
Okay, good. So it's a joint effort, that one. Okay, Dad, an owl. Okay, so what's the word though? We say owls,
Owls hoot.
hoot. Okay. Mum, what does a frog do?
Croak. I don't know what does. Oh, ribbit, ribbit. Is that what you want?
A frog.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Ribbit, ribbit. Or
So like you're choking on something.
yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
the sound like.
Right.
Sounds like choking.
Right, okay. So the frog's croak. Okay, the frog is croaking. Okay. Fine. Dad, what does a lion do?
Hey, what's the name for it?
Roars.
That's it.
It roars. Okay, so do you want to do the sound again then? Go on, because you're in the zone then. Go on.
Do the sound again.
Yeah, that's what I said,
A
yeah.
lion roars.
Sounds like a lion dying, but okay.
Does yeah.
Mum, what does a bee do?
What does a bee do?
Mm.
Buzz.
There's one in your head.
Very good. Don't tell her, she's scared of him. Right, Dad, a chicken. What does a chicken do? A chicken goes what?
Cluck, cluck. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Cluck, cluck, cock, cock. Right, cluck, cluck.
No.
Okay.
Cluck.
Cluck, chicken clucks. Okay, and the last one now. Okay. I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. And you both have to just give the sound of this animal. Okay. Because this morning a student said this and he was fantastic. A student did this and he was fantastic. I thought he was a horse. Okay, so you ready? After 3, you both have to do the sound of a horse. So 3, 2, 1. So Dad's a female horse. Okay. Right. Okay.
Do we not get our credits on the podcast?
You're in the podcast. I mean, your credit will hear your voice.
We've just heard you. We've got to hear your podcast now.
They could also hear you coughing and spluttering.
Well, that one is lion.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Right, I'll speak to you later then.
Alright.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye. Now, as I said earlier, one of my students is very good at doing imitations. So let's have a listen to his imitation of a horse. Fantastic. Mirko, you are the best. And because it's our last episode of this series, he also sent us another surprise one. Can you tell what this is? It is a chicken or a hen. Well done. Whose impressions do you think were the best? Let me know. And now, before things get out of hand, who's our next guest?
Jonathan, talk to us about food around the world. Jonathan, Canadian, the best export after Justin Bieber.
It's the 20th and final episode of this series of podcasts. And we have Jonathan back again for his last ever time. Well, not ever,
This
ever,
season,
I
I
hope.
hope,
This
yeah.
season, I hope, yeah, because you're very nice to have you. You're very funny, you're perverted. And
I look
it's
good,
very,
too.
very good. Yeah, you're not too bad. We wouldn't call you a double bagger, let's say. Okay, so for this last episode of your food expertise that you researched really, really well, actually, the other week was very impressive. The other week, I don't remember what it was.
no
the
idea.
Japanese cheesecake, maybe. I
Oh,
don't
that was a
remember
good
which
one.
one. Or maybe the turducken.
Oh, the turducken.
The turducken in the oil barrel, okay, in Texas. Yes, this is what he actually spoke about. If you didn't listen to the other podcasts, go back and listen to
You're
them
missing
because
out.
you're a
Yeah,
terrible
we're
person
having
if
a
you
great
didn't.
time.
Because so Jonathan, what are you going to talk about in these last 4 minutes? Because I've just wasted a minute of your time.
Well, I haven't really got a clue.
Okay, good.
I want to talk a little bit
Perfect.
about everything that we didn't have time to talk about.
Go on then.
For instance,
Chuck it all in.
Yeah, dim sum, Chinese, fantastic.
Just going to give us a list of food.
Does-
or
yes.
just-
Well, I've got 4 minutes. I don't have a lot of time. I didn't do any research. Let's go.
Go on. So dim sum. Tell us about dim sum.
Well, I mean, do you know about dim sum? Surely it exists.
Well, it's Chinese food. Yeah.
Well, it's not Chinese food. It's a way of Chinese food.
Okay, yeah.
So it's okay. The traditional way, at least as I understand it, in China, they have these big rooms, they have the tables, and they have the food carts that come around, and you grab and you pick whatever tickles your fancy as it comes by. So this can be a wonderful familial experience, a group experience, very lively, open, and friendly. Obviously, in pandemic times, not recommended. However, it can also be very dangerous as you don't really see the price of what you're grabbing haphazardly until the very end.
The prices are on the bottom of the plate, or
Well, they quickly tally it up as you go.
so it's like the rolling sushi or whatever it's called, running sushi but on a trolley.
Yeah. Anyway,
Kind of
let's
thing.
not get into that.
Yeah. Go on.
Anyway, so Toronto having such a large Chinese community, both Cantonese and Mandarin speaking, from obviously initially from Hong Kong, but now the rest of mainland China. We have a lot of amazing dim sum restaurants, and it's one of the things that I really, really loved when I was growing up. It was the first non-white people food, which is boring, bland steak and potatoes type of thing. Something truly unique and interesting. And I love the small portions because you never have to commit. So you always have options. You always have choice. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Dim sum is something I truly, truly miss here. There is one Chinese restaurant, but I feel like I don't know what to order. You have
Where
to,
you live.
Where I live, yeah.
In Milan, there's millions of them.
Well, take me out.
It doesn't mean they're good or not.
No, that's the problem. The one thing I truly miss about Toronto is the authenticity of the ethnic food, because they're making it for their own communities, and then they allow the Anglos in every now and then.
They allow you in.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I've been chased out of more than one restaurant.
But for other reasons, probably.
Unless we don't have enough time.
But on your feet or crawling on your hands and knees,
Well,
probably.
it depends.
So dim sum, you recommend it.
Dim sum, I highly recommend it.
What else can you tell
Another
us about?
topic I wanted to touch on is Kobe beef and the beautiful style that these Shinto monks in Japan have developed for curing and marbling their steaks, and how Australia has ruined it all as they do. Sorry, Australia, I love you, but seriously, if it's
Kelly.
not from Kobe, you don't call it Kobe.
Hello,
oh yeah,
Kelly.
AAA Wagyu, whatever.
AAA what?
Wagyu. So
Wagyu,
my
okay.
understanding, and again, I've done zero research, is Wagyu is the type of meat, like the breed of the cow, and Kobe is the city. So we call it Kobe beef, but in reality, it's a Wagyu steak. So you can take the Wagyu out of the Kobe,
But
but,
not
you
the-
can't take the.
Yeah. I understood the Kobe
Anyway.
out of the Wagyu.
Anyway, so now we're in rural Australia, and you've got these Texas cowboy types with their funny accents and big hats.
And not on bicycles this time.
No,
Like in Russia.
They have Jeeps, I think.
Ah.
Anyway, but they prepare in a similar style, and it's just a matter of preparation. The Shinto monks used to massage beer into the cattle, but in Australia,
Like when they're alive.
yes,
It's like a beer massage.
well, they're all yes, of course. That's how you get such a refined marbling.
An alcoholic cow.
Perhaps. I mean,
We should try it with you.
yeah, rub me down.
Beer. I don't think you'd be allowed home.
What was the other thing I want to talk about? I've already forgotten.
Don't remember.
Don't remember. That's fantastic. So,
Dim sum,
Wagyu beef,
and
fresh fruit and vegetables. Don't forget your 8 portions. Can we talk about the food pyramid? Do you guys have that in the UK?
The fact that there's no ethnical. There's
no ethnic food.
Ethnic food.
We did touch a little bit about that.
Go on, tell us.
The dearth of Chinese food.
Go on. Are you going to criticize now? Go on.
There's no Greek food here. Greece is a stone's throw away.
There is a Greek restaurant in Milan, which is Greek fusion with sushi.
Where can we get tapas?
Why?
Like Spain is just over there. Why are there no French cheeses?
I don't know.
Like, why do I have to go all the way to Piedmont for a truffle? Like, come on, help me out, guys.
No. In fact, the only Greek one, it's probably another one. I've never checked, but the only Greek one is a Greek fusion with sushi. Why? Just be Greek, you know?
Just be Greek.
There must be another
Pick one. Pan-Asian cuisine, that's a whole other topic anyway.
So do you have something to say finally so we can get rid of you?
It's been a delight. As I've mentioned, when you asked me to do this podcast, I adore the sound of my own voice, so this has worked out very well for me.
Never noticed. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Well, I'll see you soon. They won't, but I will. Bye. Bye-bye.
And now we're hungry. Thank you.
I don't know if you've noticed, but in the news, the UK has officially extended its lockdown due to the new Delta variant, and apparently many of them are all near my parents. Fantastic. Which means I won't be getting to see my family anytime soon, so be careful if you're over there. And I'm glad then that I actually decided to include them in this episode of the podcast, because I feel like we're close together. So now let's go over to Sydney and see Kelly. Oh, hear from Kelly.
She's from Australia.
Koala.
Or is it maybe South Africa? She doesn't know either, but one thing's for sure, she makes business English sexy.
Like a kangaroo.
It's Kelly Lawrence.
Kelly is here for the last time this series. And probably for the last time because she's buggering off to Australia. So we decided, let's talk about Christmas parties, because in every company there is always a Christmas party. And so Kelly is going to give us some very, very important advice of things to do and not do at the staff Christmas party. Yep, am I right?
Yes, that's right. So let's talk about this Christmas party. What are they good for? They're good for enjoying your time and
Free food.
Free drinks, exactly. But also it's an opportunity to get to know your colleagues better, especially ones that don't work directly in your office. So it could be a really good networking situation where you could get to know some people who work in different departments, understand what kind of work they do. Maybe you could be interested in changing into a different department down the track. And so it could be a good idea to speak to them and see what it's like. So that could be something very positive.
Before drinking, you have to do all this stuff.
Yeah, or you can pretend to be drinking, but don't drink so much. This could probably be the best advice for your very first Christmas party. Say if you started a new job, don't drink so much. Just keep the drink in your hand, but don't drink it. This way you're going to see everybody else making fools of themselves and get a better idea of what's going on, the kind of atmosphere of the office. You can learn a lot from the Christmas party if you're sober, but that's not so much fun, is it? After your second or third Christmas party, once you've been at the office for a long time, you can probably enjoy yourself a bit more. What do you think, Kris?
Let your hair down, yeah.
Yeah, let your hair down, exactly. Go off the rails.
Yeah, I've never done anything wild at a Christmas party.
Really? But you've...
No, because normally I'm paying.
Yeah, in fact.
So
you're not breaking
I don't drink
things.
anything, yeah.
Okay, so some things that you shouldn't do at a Christmas party is, first, don't talk about work at the Christmas party. This is international. No one wants to talk about emails or situations, problems.
It's not the place to talk about work.
Exactly, you've got to forget about
party.
Okay, exactly. Now, another thing that you shouldn't do is don't flirt with any of your colleagues.
No, why not?
It could end up really badly and everyone will see.
You're speaking from experience, yeah. I can see it in your eyes.
Actually, I have a good friend who met the love of her life making out with a colleague at the Christmas party. So there is success, but also
they didn't get fired.
No, they didn't get fired.
They got promoted.
In fact, so probably don't do it. Don't drink too much.
Don't photocopy your bum.
Don't photocopy your bum, exactly.
Or any bodily part.
Exactly. And just have fun. I would say Christmas party is a situation where you can really enjoy all the hard work that you've done, take some free food, get some free drinks and meet new people, and that's it. Let your hair down, but just don't go off the rails. By the way, going off the rails means to go wild.
Remember the thing about letting your hair down as well. You make some very good friends when you're holding people's hair.
Exactly, when they're throwing up. So make sure that you're holding the hair of the person who's throwing up.
Who you want to give you a promotion.
Exactly, and not doing the throwing up. Okay?
Not once I remember being sick in a toilet and somebody was holding, not my hair up, but holding me up. This is really intimate here. And I remember saying to this person, "Oh, thanks, love. And he was the owner of the restaurant and nobody I knew. And I thought it was somebody else. So, a bit dangerous.
In fact,
And that wasn't a staff Christmas party. That was just a normal dinner out. So imagine me at a Christmas party. That's why I don't drink.
and actually, I remember a time when it wasn't a Christmas party, but I had gone out with some friends, and I was staying at a friend's place. And I felt suddenly very sick in the middle of the night, obviously from drinking too much. And so I stormed through the doors. Obviously, I didn't know anything about the arrangement of their house because it wasn't mine. And actually, I opened up the door to their parents' bedroom instead of the bathroom. I must have been there, slamming the door open, drunk as anything, and their parents terrified.
We didn't vomit on them at least.
No, I didn't. They took me to the bathroom.
No,
but
so
it was very embarrassing.
I can imagine. The other thing to do, remember, make sure you book yourself a taxi.
Yeah, that's good advice.
No, just thinking,
exactly.
it's a very sensible thing to do, because driving home is not the best idea.
Exactly, that's a good point. Exactly, you shouldn't drive drunk. So, otherwise, that's all for the Christmas party. Maybe you can tell us some things in some feedback of what you've done, something very embarrassing at a Christmas party.
Like giving names and addresses and photos and videos and evidence. Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Kelly, and see you soon. I hope.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Kelly.
Now we love business, English short and so.
Now remember, soon very, very shortly, you will see the music videos, the fantastic music videos of our guests doing the lip syncing, because they can't sing. Well, Jonathan Canny's fantastic at karaoke, to their jingle. Now, what is the difference between a third and a turd? T-U-R-D. Well, the pronunciation, but the meaning, there is a big, big, big difference. Pay attention, as turd, T-U-R-D, is another word for poo. So, if someone says to you, how much of the cake would you like? And you say, a turd, it has a very different meaning. So don't forget this sound that's in third. Remember, put your tongue behind your top teeth and just blow without using your voice. Okay? So, third, not turd. Now let's go over to our final guest of this series. It is Laura.
Now it's time for Laura, sick to you by your Skype. She's at home in Nashville, couldn't find a flight. Laura likes to listen to the radio, but when it comes to music, she prefers it live. Laura, give for 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 Laura. Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for.
Hello, Laura.
We're at episode 20.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun.
Yeah.
The only way it could have been any more fun is if we'd been able to record these together in the same room.
A lot
Or
nicer.
even the same country. But we're getting there. I'll get to visit soon.
Hey, good.
And I hear that live music is back in Milano. Very exciting.
Yeah, finally.
And as we've discussed, live music has been back here in Nashville for a while.
Ah, yeah,
So much better. So much more normal.
Yeah.
Bands and artists are planning tours again. Shows are being rescheduled. Things will no doubt be different than they were before the pandemic, but at least things are already changing for a lot of artists. But things have been changing for a while. Technology has created a lot of change in the music industry, for better and worse.
Yeah, so now everything's online and everything's free and artists aren't earning money. Yeah.
Right. How do you listen to your music now?
I generally use Apple Music because I subscribe to it. And Spotify doesn't give me lyrics all the time, and I like to sing along.
And has it always been this way for you, or has that changed over the years?
No, at the beginning I remember vinyl, so records, also CDs, tapes, and even mini discs. My God, do you remember mini discs? Or micro discs, whatever they were called.
Oh my gosh, I saw some micro discs in a record store
Really?
in California. I hadn't seen them in years.
Yeah, for donkeys. Didn't realise they still existed.
Yeah, there were little discs and little players, all
How
for kids' music,
cute.
but it was new. For me, it's also been a huge change over the years. I started out with vinyl as my primary choice, and then cassettes because they were portable and cheaper, so I could buy more music and take it with me in the car or in a jam box.
A jam box? What's a jam box? Never heard of that.
You know, a boom box.
Ah,
A portable
okay.
radio and cassette player.
A ghetto blaster type thing. Okay. But jam box, I've never heard. It's quite nice to call it a jam box.
I guess it's called that because that's where the jams come from.
Strawberry or raspberry.
Well, then CDs came out,
Yeah.
and they sounded better than cassettes. That was awesome.
For sure. Definitely much better than cassettes.
Now the streaming services make everything so easy.
Yeah.
I can find any song I want to hear from any artist,
Instantly.
famous or not. It's only a small monthly fee, and I have a musical world at my fingertips.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
So it's super convenient, but the sound quality suffers. I still have all of my old vinyl,
Really? I've known.
so I have both, and I have the choice depending on what I want and where I am.
Uh-huh.
I love the sound and feel of vinyl, and I actually started buying new vinyl to support local bands a few years ago.
All right. Good.
30 years ago, record companies sold albums on various media and merchandise, t-shirts, buttons, bandanas, etc. And the artists got a cut of the revenue. Along with tour income, that's how they survived, some very nicely. Now, artists get pennies every time their song is streamed,
Yeah.
and fans are buying far fewer physical copies of the music.
Yeah, it's not
The
fair.
average American household today may not even have a turntable, or a CD player, or a cassette player, despite the resurgence and popularity of all these formats.
Yeah, here and I guess in England is the same. Though nobody has these.
Yeah, it's just not that common.
Yeah, it's not popular anymore, no.
So, is this progress or problem for the artists?
Both, I guess. 50-50. A bit of both.
Ben Cesario covers the music industry for the New York Times. He thinks that it's been the industry's salvation.
Ah.
While streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify offer potential regular income, each artist only gets a few pennies,
Yeah,
literally,
nothing.
for every time their song is played.
It's not fair, really.
The formula that determines how the $10 monthly streaming fee is divvied up is complicated and confusing. The service itself takes about 30% of the money, and the remaining $7 is shared between everyone involved in the creative. The artists, the publishers, the songwriters, the labels, the producers. You get the idea.
Oh, yeah, so many people involved behind it. They get nothing, basically.
Giorgio Danke is a vocalist and songwriter in Milano, and he is also part of this podcast.
He
has
is.
some mad production skills as well. You might have heard a certain cool jingle or two here, and that's our friend. Giorgio, what are your thoughts on the ways technology has changed the music industry?
What do you have to say, Giorgio, by that?
Hi Laura, thanks for asking. I don't really know how to answer really. I have mixed feelings about the topic because although it's difficult to earn a control income from it, it is still a process that was inevitable, and therefore rather than condemning it really, we should find a way to rule it in order to make it useful for everyone.
Thanks for your 2 cents worth. Like Giorgio, many artists have embraced streaming as an inevitable progression of technology. The trick is to maximize exposure and market additional products. But others, like Australian songwriter Emma Swift, fight it. Emma refused to release her most recent album, Blonde on the Tracks, which was a Bob Dylan cover album, awesome, check it out, on subscription services until weeks after the physical release. Emma and many other artists use Bandcamp, which allows fans to purchase a digital copy of the music and order physical copies in merchandise bundles. Emma also does her own distributing and publishing. American multi-instrumentalist, writer, and illustrator Bladen Breitwriter mostly uses Bandcamp and SoundCloud for their projects.
Yeah, Bandcamp I've never used, to be honest. I've never really tried it, or SoundCloud. Normally I just stick with Apple Music because it's the easiest one for me. I need things to be simple. So tell us some pros and cons. Go on.
So, pros are that small and independent artists can get their music out to the masses easily and inexpensively,
Yeah.
far more than in the past.
It's true.
Home recording allows artists to bypass record label control if that's what they want to do, and that allows for more autonomy.
Which sometimes is a good thing.
Fans have access to their music at any time in any location,
24 hours a day.
and artists are thinking outside the box and interacting with fans in new and different ways.
And cons?
The flip side of that is there's a huge loss of revenue to large companies and music businesses, including larger bands, larger outfits. And digital streaming offers a lower sound quality than physical media. Some streaming services sound better than others, but none of them really have the same oomph as a good old turntable with a vinyl record on it. Lots of changes in the industry in the last few years. Musicians and bands have had to get creative to replace lost revenue. They've created new merchandise, subscriptions, and streaming concerts to fill the gaps. But there are also new avenues that people are looking to get their music heard. People are going toward getting their songs in video games, or on movie soundtracks, or offering Patreon subscriptions, where you pay a subscription to a certain artist every month and you get exclusive content and interactions that the general public doesn't have access to. Technological advances have even changed music visually. Duran Duran just worked with an AI company called Nested Minds to create and release the first music video created entirely via artificial intelligence.
Ooh.
Huxley is a virtual AI artist that takes concepts rooted in human language and translates them into new imagery. Very interesting and very new.
I have not seen it, but it sounds very interesting indeed.
So like in every other industry, the only thing that's certain is change.
Yeah.
And technology has made a lot of changes in the music industry in the last few years. It's been very exciting. It's been frustrating. But we've had some cool new things come out of it, and I'm anxious to see what comes out of it going forward. I'm also anxious to see what's coming out in your magazine this season.
Me too.
That's very exciting.
I need to start editing it together, putting it together. The summer issue will be out soon.
Thanks again for including me in this season of the podcast. It's been great fun. It's been super interesting. I've actually learned some new stuff that I could share with everyone.
Good.
And I really appreciate it.
And we learned a lot from you.
I can't wait to see what happens in season 3 of the podcast.
Me neither. I need to decide. Okay, thank you very much, Laura, and speak to you soon.
Thanks again. Cue Giorgio's fabulous jingle.
Now we know something more about music. Thank you, Laura.
So remember to go and check out all our social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, don't hack me. We are everywhere, like COVID, but for us you don't need a vaccine because we're so nice and friendly. Enjoy and see you in the third series. Jingle! See you soon.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock, shining on his English tips. Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.